This whole study is essentially discussions on the nature of God, primarily as it is impacting us in the person of Messiah Yeshua. That's where we're getting the most mileage out of this discussion on the issue of Trinity. Is God one? Is he numerically one, or is he numerically three? Is he one God? Is he three gods? Is Jesus God? Is Jesus a man? Is he 100% God? Is he 100% man? Or is he 50-50, right? That's where most of the discussions on Trinity. Let me jump into a paragraph where we're going to begin to pull a quote from Dr. James White of Alpha and Omega Ministries. He has coined this term, at least I think he coined it. He may have picked it up from a previous author, but as far as I can tell, I think he's the one that's fairly responsible for it. He coined this phrase, one what, yet three whos. And what he's talking about is this discussion on the issue of being versus person. As many scholars have been keen to explain, it is vital that we as biblically accurate students of the Word understand and affirm that God's nature is properly explained as one what, yet with three whos. This phrase, one what, yet with three whos, I myself picked this up from Dr. White. So listen up for a moment. Dr. James White of Alpha and Omega Ministries, he's a Christian. He's going to help us understand this very valuable lesson on, quote, being versus person, end quote, as it pertains to how to accurately understand and articulate the biblical concept of Trinity. It is necessary here, Dr. White says, to distinguish between the terms, quote, being, end quote, and, quote, person, end quote. It would be a contradiction, obviously, to say that there are three beings within one being, right? Three beings within one being, or, Dr. White continues, or three persons within one person. Dr. White continues, we recognize what something is, yet we also recognize individuals within a classification. For example, Dr. White gives this example. We speak of the, quote, being, end quote, of a man, right? A human being. He goes on to describe, and I mentioned this probably 3 or 4 or 5 weeks ago as well. A rock has being, the being of a rock, right? Objects have being, humans have being, a rock has being, the being of a rock, as does a cat, a dog, etc. So when we're talking about ontology and we're trying to describe the being of something or the nature of something, we're simply recognizing first and foremost the existence of that being, that the nature of that being, the thing itself exists. It is a thing that we can recognize, whether we're talking about humans or God or rocks or dogs or cats. That's what Dr. White's trying to explain. Yet, Dr. White goes on to say, we also know that there are personal attributes as well, especially when we're talking about humans, right? That is, we recognize both what, that's the being part, and who, that's the personality part, when we talk about a person. A person is a thing, that is to say a human being, and a person is a who, right? We have to recognize both of those aspects of living things, particularly humans, and we're talking about God, we're describing him, we're including him in that category as living things. When we say that God is a what and God is a who. And that's going to begin to form the basis of properly understanding the God of the Bible.